Hey, everybody, it's Ron Bass with another edition of Soar High Personal Development. Joining me today is Brent Atterbury, marketing guru, Michael Rose, who's 28 today. Yay, happy birthday.
Congrats.
Martial artist extraordinaire.
Happy
And-
12th birthday.
Yay. And Davin Huntley with an I, our executive producer.
That's me.
That's you.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, guys, so I picked a subject today that is kind of light versus our last one, which was a little bit deep, but I thought it was important to talk about depression. Today, we're going to talk about fast. I'm driving down the road the other day, and these people are going crazy on motorcycles and cars, driving by me like 100 miles an hour, and I'm thinking, really? Why is that so important to get somewhere that quick? I mean, where are you going? So I'm thinking to myself, let's talk about slowing down a little bit, being more efficient with our time during the course of a day. I mean, yeah, we have jobs and businesses to run and families to take care of and exercise to do and all those things. But if you keep a schedule and you don't have to go crazy. Like in jiu-jitsu, Mike and I talk about all the time, stay cool, calm, and collected. Now, there's going to be moments where I get it. You get upset and you get crazy and you want to yell or get mad or smack somebody or whatever, or feel like
Smack
it.
somebody.
You're not supposed to, but if you feel like it, then I guess that's okay as long as you don't really do it. Unless somebody's trying to hurt you, then you got to defend yourself, of course. So staying cool, calm, and collected, I think, is very important. That's one of the subtitles here. Slow down. I mean, smell the roses. I'm driving down the road thinking to myself, I got to be somewhere. I'm thinking, hey, man, calm down, Ron. Just calm down a little bit. What if you're 5 minutes late? It's not the end of the world. I went to Mike's listening party last night for his new album that he's just dropped and Davin produced. And I'm thinking, yeah, I'm 30 minutes late, but I had stuff I had to do. I could have cut short, but I'm there. At least I showed up. And then the event lasted another couple hours longer. So it was cool. And people understand when you're busy and you got a lot going on in your life, but you don't have to kill yourself and trip over yourself and drive 100 miles an hour to get there. Look at the odds of an accident. Look how many people are killed on motorcycles because they're driving way too fast. I don't understand it. I mean, it's a thrill, I guess, of going fast. Maybe that's why people like to go fast. It's like a thrill. But hey, your life's more important than that, in my opinion. So be safe. Any rate, that's kind of the topic for today. So let me turn it over to Mr. Mike and see what he's got to say about that.
Oh boy. I was looking at the camera making sure it was on. I was
Okay.
Is it on? No, I'm playing. I think the key word you said was, the time management or just the time, And some people are in a rush or, I more or less, I just think people just show off or, try to be cool. In my opinion, when most people speed past, because I really don't, for myself, I really don't do that ever. You know what I mean? Even if I had a nice car, I probably would never do that. You know what I mean? Unless I'm on a track and that's different, Then that's okay because you're going a straight line and you're not putting anybody's life in danger. But I think some people are just daredevils or just want the
I
thrill.
think like you said, there's a thrill. There's an
a thrill.
addiction to the thrill.
Yeah, some people are like that. There's some people that are crazy enough. That's why they're some people are addicted to stealing because of the
Back to
thrill.
addiction. That's another topic for another day. Addiction, all kinds of addictions.
From the past, okay, from my past, speaking about fast. In my past, I didn't do the right things when I was younger, but when that adrenaline, it's just like fighting. That adrenaline, it's the same adrenaline. It pumps so fast, and it does feel good for a minute. Then you get that dump, that adrenaline dump. But
Yeah.
that's why it's so important to when you were talking about training. That's how you really control your adrenaline, your critical thinking. You control a lot more your critical thinking, and you perceive things differently because you are thinking clear and you're slowing down, and you're slowing down the process. But some people are just, like I said, fast. They don't care. They're living for the thrill. They don't know how to manage their time. But I think to go around the whole thing, if they're being fast because they're late, this is time management. If being fast, living for the thrill, they're living for the wrong thrill for putting people's lives in danger, in my opinion. But everything's my perspective. So
Well, that's a good perspective. Um, the message I have for today to everybody that's listening is to slow down a little bit, maybe a notch, and take a deep breath and enjoy the ride. I tell Mike all the time, I think you have to enjoy every part of your life every day. You can't, like we're doing the podcast right now. I could be saying to myself, "Oh, my phone's ringing off the hook, and who's trying to reach me, and they can't talk to me, and am I going to lose sale?" No, I'm enjoying this moment with my compadres.
Yeah,
Is that the right
that
word?
is the right
Or
word.
am I
Now,
going to have somebody write in and
no,
say that's not?
somebody might. You never know. They might sue us. No, I'm playing. But I was about to say. I think in my opinion and in my experience, I think only people change or where they really learn. I think anybody could really change if they put their mind to it. But I think really learn because most humans are just hard headed. Like I said, it's back to the perspective thing. I think only people change when it comes to near death experience or a significant other death experience. I think that's when people like really like settle in and like actually change. So I think near death, like I almost drowned like swimming when I was like I think 7 years old. This
Do
older,
you remember that?
yeah, I do. Yeah, I remember it.
Where
Oh
was
yeah,
it at? At a pool?
it
At
was
a
Florida. It was in a pool. Yep,
at a
it,
pool
it
in
was at
Florida?
night. It was at a hotel pool, and luckily this girl saved my life. There was like she was probably a teenager.
Wow,
Almost drowned, bro. Yeah, I remember that. I still remember it.
that's crazy.
Yeah, and I learned how to swim. Trust me.
You learned how to swim after
Yeah.
that.
Well, after I got older and stuff, I didn't want to be
What is
fearful.
it about black people that don't like to swim, or
I,
is
d-
that,
I
or is
don't.
that, or is that
I
a is that a false thing?
No, I don't know. I don't know if that's a real.
I
That one's like
I
that
have
was like
several black friends that
no,
tell me that they don't want to
no.
swim.
I think I
I
think
don't
it's a good
understand
question,
it.
and I know some of the audience doesn't know I'm mixed, and now
Mixed up? You're
I'm mixed
mixed
up. I
up?
am mixed
Yeah.
up. I'm a lighter portion than Davin. Davin's like, oh fuck you guys. No, I don't know the real
Where
term.
does that come from?
Mm-mm.
Brent,
I,
have you ever heard anything like that, or
Brent's like,
No,
I ain't
the
speaking about it.
origin of that?
no.
Brent's like, I ain't doing it.
Yeah. I
He's like,
from a public relations standpoint, no comment.
Oh, no comment. Okay. Well,
it's like when somebody asked you, why did you like money?
a lot of Jews like money. Yeah, being
Or why
Jewish,
they
you know,
so
I get
good?
teased all the time about that.
Why
Yeah.
they so good with money?
That
Well, I think
That-
they're good with money because they've had to learn the hard way over the years because they weren't. There's a lot of discrimination against blacks and Jews,
Yes.
so they had
They
to.
hate us.
They hate us. So my mother used to say that they hate the blacks and the Jews. But-
so back on track.
So they had to learn how to
Lit-
make money on their own because nobody wanted to
Yeah.
hire them.
Yeah.
Talking about, you say slow down. I think, yeah, the driving fast is not cool. You're getting close to road rage. You're not making good decisions. I agree with that. But I mean, for me, I like to get a lot of things done in a day, and I do make a list. Now, do things happen throughout the day that causes that list maybe to change slightly? Yes, but I create the list knowing that might happen, and then if it doesn't get interrupted, I can even get more done. But I mean, I walk fast. When I
Well,
walk
walk
in the
fast
morning,
is good exercise. That's
well,
smart.
but I walk fast. I also, when I get back, I don't mess
He
around. I
strides
shower.
hard.
I get my
He strides
coffee.
hard.
I eat, and then I
But
go to
that-
work.
but-
And
but
I'm
that's not-
working.
But I'm not talking
Well,
about
no,
that.
but I'm not smelling any roses, and I'm not slowing down.
Well,
all day
you're
long.
smelling roses at some point.
You're right.
I'm to
Now-
encourage
now,
that.
let me get. I'm going somewhere here. So yeah,
Okay.
I do block out 1 or 2 days
Going
during the
down a
week.
detour is what I think he's doing.
No,
here.
I block out 1 or
Okay.
2 days a week where it's just for me.
Okay.
And that's where the critical thinking, the strategic
enough.
thinking, the things that I want to get done, but I have total flexibility. I don't have anything I have to get done. And I do that, and that's when I do slow down. So I pick and choose when I want to slow down. So I do what you're talking about, but most of the time I'm going.
Where I'm
and
really
I get,
going.
I get a lot done.
I hear where you're coming from, and we're going to let Sleepy over here have a chance to talk.
Yeah, he's looking around.
Yeah.
He's like, y'all motherfuckers.
I'm just waiting patiently.
He's just being
He's like, y'all motherfuckers.
patience. That's another topic
he-
for another day.
He
Where
never.
I'm really going with this, Mike, is that I'm trying to suggest that when people get in such a hurry all the time, there's so much stress that goes with it, and stress is not a good, healthy thing. Generally speaking, there's times where stress is good, but on the whole, you need to calm the f down and stay focused on your task
And I think it's hard. I think it's hard for some
and
people.
relax a little bit. But if you get off track, okay, take a walk. Sometimes I'll take a walk for 4 or 5
Yeah,
minutes, get away from my phones and calm myself down. Then I'll come back to the phones because you're going to get hyped up for a lot of reasons.
but you're disciplined. Some
Well,
people have
everybody can learn to be
yes, but
disciplined.
some people have ADHD too. I'm
And
not.
then they
I,
should get on medication,
yes,
or
absolutely.
they should work exercise
But
even more
but I'm
to control the
yes,
chemistry.
but I'm saying like I think I have a form of it or a little bit of it. Like when I was like younger.
Well, we know your son does.
Well, yeah,
But
probably.
let's talk about your son for a second.
Okay,
His
let's do it.
his
Okay,
kid's
go
kid's
ahead.
cool, man. The other night I was doing an exercise routine, and he wanted to join me, and he got right in there with me, man. His kid's 7 years old, and he was so helpful because after a while he bailed out, but he continued to count for me on my reps, and he was just really into the trip. So I was really happy about that. He's getting more and more, I think, into exercise and enjoys it more
Yeah,
and
no, he
more, and
does.
he's becoming more disciplined. I've noticed, and you
Yeah.
know what's interesting? I can talk to him and I can get a result that I'm looking for versus an adult. It's a lot harder.
Yeah.
The kid's like a
Kids
sponge.
will always be honest.
It was so rewarding to walk away from him that night feeling like that I was able to get some positive things across to him that I think he can use and will continue to use as he goes forward. And that's really what motivation is all about, or mentoring is
Yeah,
all about.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, back to your
I even
comment.
even to being younger, having anger issues or anger problems. I think any young adults or young teenager was going to go through that. Same thing we talked about last week about depression. I think ADHD. I think ADHD like
What does
I
that stand for, by the way?
it's
Attention deficit
Attention,
hyper disorder.
Hyper.
yes.
I have it.
You do?
I'm just waiting for you to ask me about
I
it.
think he has it
Okay.
worse than me though.
I've had it ever since I was
I think he
born.
has it worse
Wow.
than me, but I'm pretty sure I have it because like when he was
What are
talking
the
about
symptoms?
when he was talking about work. Well, hold on. He'll tell you more about that. But when he's talking about work, like he works at a pace when he was talking like he's on the ball.
Yeah.
Like me, it's like I'll stay focused on that project sometimes, and I won't get off of it. And then sometimes I'm like doing something else. I'm like, okay, I need to do this. But I'm trying to like get back to my discipline. Which older I'm getting, it's better for me to stay. It's easier for me to stay focused, and that's why I believe why I'm like really good at jiu-jitsu because of the like say like the brain chemistry or whatever. Because like my ability to when I do focus, I see it differently. You know what I mean? But like say like sometimes my brain will like branch off to different things too, and I'll be like thinking like okay this okay that while I'm still trying to focus on this. Even when I was younger, it was harder to control, like stay like getting my focus. Like it was harder.
So you would go on to a subject, then have to you'd go back and forth to other
Pretty
things. You couldn't
much,
stay
it
on
was
one
bad.
subject.
Yeah, even when I was writing music for the first time ever, it was bad. I just
Interesting.
couldn't do it. Like it was terrible, man. Now I've really gotten better at disciplining myself.
So you say Davin's got it worse than you? What's
I
up,
think he
Davin?
does.
I
could tell. Like, he don't have the. We already talked, but I could tell he does.
I started taking medicine in
I never took medication. Go
in
ahead.
kindergarten.
In
It-
kindergarten?
Yeah, it was very
Wow.
it was very similar to Valium. It was just a
Wow.
lesser milligram. It didn't bother me that much, and then in 5th grade, they wanted to up my dosage because I was getting older and I was getting distracted easier. There were more people around me, like more friends, kids, going into middle school, and it actually was very detrimental in the sense of it made me extremely zoned out during the day,
Okay.
and then I would stay up until about 3 a.m. at the age of like 10.
Wow.
So it was like pretty detrimental at that point in time.
So then what? You got off the meds?
No, we went back to the original dosage, and the medicine did help me. I will say that, like, it did help me focus.
Helped you to focus. You weren't
Yes.
as distracted.
Correct. I was very reined in.
How big of a problem is attention deficit disorder? Is it like 10%, 1% of the population?
No,
Any
they say
idea?
men have it
No.
more than any.
Men
It's
more than
bigger.
women?
It's bigger than you think.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
huge.
My
it-
grandson has it. Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Does
Where-
he take
the medi-
meds?
Yeah, the medication helps him. He doesn't like it. He doesn't eat as well.
Yeah,
But when he takes it,
How old is he?
10.
Wow.
When he takes it, I mean, he goes in, he listens. The homework, there's no homework because he gets all the work done. His grades are good. He's very focused. When he's not taking it, he's just distracted, and he doesn't get a lot of the work done. There's more homework at night. You can see the difference, and also you can see the difference in him. He is not his crazy, wild, jovial self.
Yeah.
He is
Zombie.
I call it more of a machine, just
Yeah.
going through the motions and just making whatever needs to happen happen.
Functioning.
So there's positive and there's
crazy.
negative
Yeah.
for these
Oh
treatments.
yeah, no,
but-
there is. There's
Yeah,
a.
it's not all beautiful roses.
And isn't that true in life? I mean, I think about that a lot. It's like I tell Mike all the time, man, you're always going to have nothing's perfect. I weigh it out every day. Like an employee, if he's got more good than bad, I'll hang on. But if the bad starts exceeding the good, have a nice day. Sayonara. Everybody's going to have problems. I don't care who you are. And so I have learned to be less judgmental and more open-minded generally when it comes to trying to understand people.
But ADD and ADHD are pretty similar. They're two differences. But
They're related.
Mostly, if you have ADHD, you have ADD, because I have both as well. One's
I
attention
want-
deficit disorder,
sorry,
one's
I
attention
wanted to,
deficit hyper disorder.
yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to bring that up just in case for the listeners.
Yeah.
Right. They are
So-
different. One is you're obviously more hyper, and one is you just can't keep on one task. And then the hyper one
so
is
are you
both.
recommending medication or are you not to the listeners out there that are, that are
I
having
don't.
these
I
problems?
it just depends, really.
I think you go to your
Seek
doctor.
out. Yep.
Professional
Wait, what you
help.
said last week?
Yeah.
Right there. Yep.
We fought it the whole way. We did not want to do it. My daughter didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
She didn't want to even get the kids vaccinated.
But is it
let
like
alone-
diabetes? You got to take
Right.
insulin? I mean, if you got it, you got to take
Well,
something.
but see, this isn't a medical. Well, okay.
The brain
It's
is
a psychological.
It's
kind of medical.
it's still a brain chemistry. It's
Yes.
still a
It-
physical issue.
It became a situation where he was being sectioned out. I mean, he'd be taken away from the other kids.
We were considered.
was put
we
in
were
another
considered special
room.
ed
Wow.
at one point.
Really?
I mean,
That's
he
crazy.
he was pulled out of class. He was sent to the principal because he wouldn't mind. He wouldn't do. It wasn't like he was throwing things or freaking out. He just wouldn't do what they said to do.
So
Because-
is this genetic? Is it just
I don't know.
happens?
Do you-
it just happens?
Do you want me to tell you? I
Yes.
can tell you all
Yeah,
about
tell
it.
me.
So it originally started in the 80s late 80s, early 90s when crack babies were a thing. And it
Wow.
was pretty much that's where the connection happened, was that
so the
mothers
mother,
or fathers that were doing drugs at that point in
it
time,
affected the
it
the-
affected the
the
baby, the
baby.
egg.
Wow.
So it kind of, I feel like, obviously it's not like that now, because
No.
that's just not.
Yeah, my daughter
it's
took
probably
vitamins.
exactly. So
You
it's
know,
probably
so-
just it's turned into genetics. What do you
Yeah.
think? I think it's
Well,
genetic.
I can tell you
you're right.
this.
Mutation.
His dad, my son-in-law, was, ADD on steroids.
Exactly.
So it was passed down to him.
So I think it
And
started,
mutation.
and then it turned into this. It happens every.
Generation.
Yeah,
so I
generation,
have
yeah.
kind of a different perspective generally. You know me. I
Well,
come
of
up
course
with
you
this, I come
do.
up with this
Well,
analysis.
of course.
Here's my read. Are you ready? The body is complicated. Life is complicated. So when people get freaked out about things that go wrong, whether it's ADD or whether it's a medical issue, whether it's a disappointment, I say to myself, it's more likely that that's going to happen than not going to happen. In other words, why should we be surprised about any of this? And so if that's the case, what do we do about things like this? Well, we have to find solutions. How do we find a solution? I don't have the exact answer to that, but I know that if you've got a problem, whatever it is, you have to be dedicated to a solution. And
You
there's
had the
always
answer.
a solution.
You had the answer right
And
there.
you can't freak out about, oh my God, this, oh my God, I can't believe that. What do you mean you can't believe that? It's bad things are going to happen all day long. People are like, I can't believe so-and-so died. He was 96 years old. I mean, my God. Now, when a kid dies, that's horrible. But an old person dies, people freak out. It's like, well, what do you expect? I mean, life is
Hey,
finite.
Johnny lived a good life.
I
for
mean,
90?
nobody wants to, die,
hit the
but
sack.
but it's going to happen.
No one's hit the hay barrel.
The key is, what's the quality of your life? Are you doing all the right things to make your life better, happier? Are you influencing people in a positive way? Are you passing down what you've been taught? Or are you hoarding it? Are you being selfish with yourself? and your time and
No,
and your energies. To me, that's what this podcast is all about, is helping people.
When we were talking about earlier,
Sharing.
before the podcast started, Ronnie was talking about giving my time to certain people, and I do treat everybody the same. But I'm saying now, on my free time, like I said, I definitely want to consider who am I gonna give my energy
You want to be
to,
selective.
and
Of
that's
course.
not bad.
That's
If you,
not bad.
but if you let bums in, you become a bum. You
a
become
bum.
one.
Yeah, I agree.
So but what I'm saying is, even back to the mental issue, I used to coach a kid, many kids that had autism, and then I've only had one kid. I won't say any names or anything at all, but this one kid had Down syndrome, and it was a task, but I treated him like any other kid.
Yes.
I tried my best to talk to him, and I knew in my heart, like my mind didn't want to believe it, but in my heart, I was like, he's not understanding. And it was like, it just kind of like made me
It
sad.
breaks your heart.
It did, because in my heart, like,
He was dealt a really bad hand.
but in my heart, I wanted to believe, and my mind was like, no.
That's another reason why you have to appreciate every day.
Yeah, no,
how
for
fortunate
sure.
you are when you are.
And I'm blessed, but
healthy.
But I treated, I swear on everything, I treated him like a regular student, and I was trying to talk to him like a regular student.
I agree with that.
I tried to talk to him and everything. He was older, but even
how do I treat your kid? Just like an adult.
Oh, just like an adult.
But that's the only way they're going to grow.
But you have to. But you do it. I think everybody had to talk on their level. Like, same thing as kids. Like, you need to talk to their level. You need to get to their level and talk to them. Same thing as adults. You get to their level. And
I love teasing your son. He's a blast.
But but I want, even back to ADHD, or back to mental issues when it comes to fast. Like I said, in my opinion, I'm glad we're talking about, because this kind of branch out for the listeners. But even to, like, some kids that have autism,
Very
kids, smart kids, like, their functions are crazy. They're doing things that I've never seen.
But there's all kinds of levels of autism.
There is,
I've read.
but I'm saying, like, when it comes to, like, that physical activity, like, I've seen it in multiple, and the same thing, like coaching, like a handful of kids, like, they're just like watching them, like, it's crazy. But they can be disciplined. I think anybody could be disciplined. It's just like, disciplined in a way where they know the function.
But some kids with autism, it's so severe that they can't relate at all.
No.
From what I've read, and
Yeah.
other kids have it less, where they can relate some.
Yeah, but I'm yeah, you are right. I think that's each to their own. But I'm saying,
But there again, is there a solution? There's always a solution. It may not may not make them perfect, but there's always a way to manage struggle.
I think what you said was training, and then, like, fitness, or anything that's physical activity. Just to encourage. That was the main thing. That's one of the words I used for our brand. When it comes to Soar Jiu-Jitsu, was regardless who it was, I was supposed to encourage them. That was my job. And and there's three words. The pride. When I use pride in a way of, like, being open-minded. Like, I don't. Some people get in their feelings, like, say, like, when we and you talk, we'll talk about anything. I never won't get my feelings at all, because that's not what it's about. Pride, like, anybody could feel I think anybody should feel a certain way of who they are. I think in my eyes, I think there are some boundaries, but like I said, I want people to feel comfortable with who they are. And you know what I mean? I'm not the judge. So that was one of the words. And then courage was the second one. But integrity was the most important one, I think. I think every business or anybody should have the integrity and know who they are and know where they should put themselves at all times. And also, never shoot low so you get a higher reward.
Right.
I always say this, I don't want no easy fight.
I
don't want the easy fight, even on the streets, or if somebody's talking to me. If somebody says, Mike, da 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 da, they're not confident in their skill, because if you're a real fighter, you don't talk about it.
You don't talk about anything.
No, you don't until you have to.
You do have to.
And some people don't get that when they just talk. Even to, like, black belts, even they don't know how to conduct themselves, where they're just talking. It's like, you really don't believe in your own skill that you talk about. You don't believe what you do, because if you did believe, you wouldn't be talking about it. But you know what I mean? You'd be sharing your experience and encouraging other people.
Good point.
But integrity was the thing.
Do you want to finish up on the ADHD thing, or do you want to go into your ad?
Go ahead and wrap that up, and then I don't know how much we bored people today, but we've got a few more minutes.
Well, either way,
we're in a rush. We're slowing down.
Yeah.
Davin's ready. Fast. That's Davin.
what do you mean?
Fast.
I mean,
Keep on going.
We're just teasing you,
We're
Davin.
teasing you, goddamn.
Well,
And, you know,
I'm
when he
just-
jokes with me, he pokes at me. When I joke with him, it's a verbal joke, and
Yeah.
he's just like,
Yeah.
no, I just don't understand.
no, I know, but it's all right. You'll get there. You'll
But I
get
thought
there.
we were slowing down because I
That's what
did.
we're doing. We're slowing down right now. Go ahead.
So when I got into high school, that's when I stopped taking the medicine my freshman year, and my grades dipped. And then after that, I took it for about another year, got the grades back on track, and then I stopped completely, and I've never been on it again. And then you were asking about like symptoms, like I still have anxiety about like certain things, like say I'm doing something and I know I have to do something else, then it makes me try to rush through something and to get it done to do something else, like project wise.
I don't see any symptoms of attention deficit disorder with you, and
It's all at,
I'm a pretty good judge of people. I don't see any symptoms.
it's usually at home. It's usually
No,
like
I've seen when he was
Have
younger.
you?
When he was
by
When he was
younger,
younger.
Yeah.
but I've known
Like when
him
I
he was
see him work
younger.
now, he's very focused and
No,
dedicated to
he's fine
his
tuned. But I'm
project.
saying when he was younger, I could tell.
You could tell.
Oh yeah.
So would you say the older you've gotten, you've been able to
Manage it.
manage it
Manage is the key
without
word.
That's what I was
the
trying to tell you.
medication?
Yes.
Not
Key word,
control it,
manage.
but manage it.
it'll
Okay.
never be in control because like
Right.
there's always that like last night is a great example. I was so tired when I got home. It was like 10 o'clock. I was like, I'm trying to go to sleep. I stayed up, played video games because that's what I wanted to do, and I haven't in a couple weeks, and that's like my own
You
time to
deserve that
myself.
time. You deserve that time.
And I should have gone to sleep, but the ADHD
Enjoy
was
yourself.
like, nah,
Yeah,
stay
smell
up.
the roses.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Slow down. See, that's good.
But today he's
Exactly.
struggling. I can see it.
No,
He's
he
tired.
Ain't
I'm
struggling.
very
today.
tired.
I
This
can
Very
tell.
tired.
This
Oh, no, he's tired today.
We're going to the trenches.
I can tell. And you know what? That is a problem when you have a full schedule. I know in my case, it's complicated, but you just
You
have
just
to
gotta
learn
go
to
with
manage it, and you have to work through it and figure it out, and you do, and you
Yep.
will, and that's what a winner does. They figure it out. They solve the issue. They solve the problem.
I know we're getting close on time, but I think something I heard in this mix was really, I think at the end of the day, as you go throughout every day, you're always making decisions. And to make the best decisions, I think you have to have everybody's capacity is a little different. So you have to know what that speed is to be able to make that good decision.
That's a good
So you
point.
don't make bad decisions.
Chemistry.
Because you're always given challenges, or someone pulls out in front of you, or a phone call happens when it
Yeah.
wasn't supposed to, or they canceled. You've got to be able to handle that, make good decisions to get through the day and have
Yes.
the most productive day. And I think you can't go 100 miles an hour and make great decisions all day long. It just can't happen.
Okay.
Seasons.
So now a word from our sponsor, Soar Industries.
The jingle. Play the jingle.
Play the jingle. So Soar Industries has several different brands. One brand is Soar Jiu-Jitsu, and you can go to our website, or our Facebook page, Soar Jiu-Jitsu, which is in Springfield, Missouri. So if you're traveling through, stop in. You're welcome to come to our classes on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday nights. And Mike Rose, it's his gym and it's his dojo, and he's the head coach, of course. And Soar Records / Entertainment, which Davin is our producer, and he is working with several artists. And Mike just finished his album. You can go to soarrecords.com and you can listen to a lot of our music and look for upcoming dates for events. And our YouTube channel, which is Soar Records. You can listen to Mike's music, and that's about it. Other than our current business that we're doing today, which is Soar Personal Development, and we have a YouTube channel, and we also have a website, soarpersonaldevelopment.com. You can listen to all of our podcasts. We're now doing video podcasts. Our first 6 months, we only did audio. All of those are on the YouTube channel as well as our website. So we hope you listen, and we hope that you'll subscribe, and lots of exciting things are coming down the line in the future. So much for that. Okay, guys, any final thoughts before we
I
close
thought
it out?
I thought we did the the sponsors in the middle of it.
Oh, Well,
I didn't know we'd do it at the very end.
oh well. Sometimes I just mix it up.
We always mix it up.
You gotta mix
We,
it up.
we
You
don't
talk-
we don't want the sponsor to get upset.
No, no. I'll be very mad. No, hey, one thing that anybody could take from this at the very end, learn how to shoot from the hip, and you do that. It's good.
Damn.
That means you're just like boom, boom, boom,
Damn
boom,
it.
boom.
Damn
pulling triggers.
it.
Damn it.
No, it's
Damn
damn
it.
it. That's how it's supposed to go.
Well,
Damn
yeah.
it.
There you go. He got it.
Brent, any words of wisdom
I got nothing.
for our listeners out there?
Wisdom words. It's okay.
Um,
You don't have to.
No, I don't have anything. Sorry.
No, he said the right
I
thing.
I said what I wanted to say.
Okay.
Just
The
man,
main
make
thing
good
was-
decisions.
Brent's a man of his
Me-
word. Brent's he's a very smart guy, but
No.
he's a man of his words.
Nah,
really.
nah.
No.
How does a winner take a compliment?
Sleepy
Thank
brain.
you.
Thank you. Yes.
That's
He did say one smart thing was about seeking out a professional. Same thing as last
yeah,
week.
good point.
Same thing as last week. But the fast topic, you should end it and on the note of, it could branch out to many things, why people are like that.
And what's interesting about the podcast, we talk about things, we have a topic, but it always winds up going in a lot of directions because that's life. I mean, life is many directions. And the secret to everything in life, in my opinion, is to hit things head on and work through the process, set your goals, never give up, never give in, always stay on track, put the blinders on. It's all about working towards the goals every day. You're going to feel good about yourself for making good decisions and accomplishment. Accomplishment really is the best drug out there. So just remember, if you don't give up, the stars will always line up. So until next time, stay positive.